Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 World channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about a fragrance that's pretty much one of the most anticipated fragrance reviews on the channel. Definitely a super hyped fragrance that a lot of y'all, I'm pretty sure, want to get to the bottom of. You want to know what this fragrance is truly about, what my thoughts are, and what does this actually smell like. Yeah, we got it today, guys. Let's talk about this fragrance right here. Let's get it. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, especially that we are headed towards, well, pretty much a mini milestone right here, guys. 20,000 subscribers is just around the corner. If you really want to join my 20K giveaway, all you got to do is follow my Instagram for now, TroyD247. And just support the channel altogether, guys. Watch the entire library. I've got so much good stuff in this channel, so hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go. And the fragrance we'll be talking about today is none other than Amouage Jubilation 40 Man. Yes, Jubilation 40 Man. Holy smokes, guys. This is a pretty much hyped fragrance, guys. And of course, with the background of this fragrance, you know, a lot of fanfare towards the original Jubilation. This comes as the second installment of kind of like their Extrait series, kind of like their high quality, Extrait, high concentration perfumes, starting with Reflection 45. And then now we have Jubilation 40, guys. Okay, so a lot of people are really wondering if this fragrance picks up the mantle from the original Jubilation 25, and what are the difference? Is it really worth the high price at $500? We'll go over all of this today, guys, and, you know, I'm really excited to talk about this right here. Now, before we continue, let's do a quick recap of where we're at in the Jubilation Man timeline, guys, okay? Now, Jubilation Man came out back in 2007, and in my opinion, this is one of the big fragrances that put Amouage on the map, not only in the Middle East, but also globally, and in terms of the fragrance community, guys, okay? So this is, I mean, Jubilation Man, the OG, came out as a very opulent, luxurious, complex, and masculine fragrance that everybody enjoyed, even up to the mainstream. A lot of mainstream perfume lovers quite enjoyed Jubilation Man. Now, the thing is that there are some talks that the recent batches of Jubilation Man, the performance was really lacking, and it wasn't anything close to the vintage bottles of Amouage Jubilation Man that came out back in 07 and 08. And my friend Art, who's also a member of this channel, actually, when I brought this up, he said, well, I don't know what people are talking about. The performance, mine was really amazing. And I said, well, was it a vintage bottle? And it turns out that Art's bottle was a vintage bottle indeed. So there's a premium right now for the OG Jubilation bottles, the vintage ones, and a lot of people are not liking the performance of the recent releases. So in comes Jubilation 40, and again, this is the second installment of their high-end Extrait series with high perfume concentration and what have you. And so I would say that at this point, a lot of people are hoping that this fragrance would have the same performance, the same oomph as the vintage bottles of Jubilation Man, and hopefully there's a twist right here. So that's what we're gonna go after. I'm gonna talk about what this smells like, what it comes out as, and of course we'll talk about the eventual performance of Jubilation 40, and is it really worth the $500 price tag? Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here. I can't wait to describe it for you. This is Jubilation 40 Man. Now, this opening, oh boy, super like 10 out of 10 in terms of the scent of the opening, guys. Definitely opulent, definitely luxurious, and definitely masculine, guys. And right here in the opening, guys, you've got the prominent notes of blackberry, blanccurrant. You've got a little bit of orange right here. You have the tea-like scent of Davana. You have the leathery labdanum, and you have definitely the Amouage Omani incense right here, guys. And these are the most prominent notes of the first initial blast of this fragrance. and it definitely comes out very complex and nice. Now, let me make it simple for some people that want simpler explanations. And I would say that this intro right here definitely smells kind of like a dark plum fragrance. If you've ever had like a dark plum fragrance where, you know, you would have like something like incense and dark woods over the backdrop of plum, this is kind of like how it goes. You have a thick curve of the Omani incense. You've got the Davana. You've got all of that real thick and dark, but then you have the sweetness of the blackberry and the blackcurrant, again, kind of resembling the sensation of a plum fragrance right here. And so it smells amazing and lovely, guys. And I would say that this is definitely one of the big reasons why you would buy Jubilation or this one as well. It's this intro right here that comes in very heavy, very strong, and slightly sweet, that gives you this opulent, luxurious intro. Now, this sample right here of Jubilation 40, I actually got this earlier than most people, okay? And I could have been one of those reviewers that got in first, kind of like how I did Aventus Absolute, but there's something about this fragrance that I wanted to try it multiple times. There are a lot of things that I figured out about this fragrance that maybe I said, okay, I think I need to try it a little bit more. And one of those things that really shocked me was the initial performance of this fragrance right here. And the thing about this fragrance is that it does have a lot of draw-in properties from the get-go. If you know my lingo, guys, draw-in properties, usually these are reserved for kind of like the mid to dry down of fragrances where you have incense and rose and labdanum. These are kind of like, they're not that strong, but they draw in people, guys, okay? And this has them right at the intro of Jubilation 40. And so initially when I wore this, I thought that it was just like a lingering scent. But the thing is, this fragrance is actually loud and powerful, and it's actually an unseen strength or unsmelled strength that when I was wearing this, people could actually smell me from another room, a different room, or my wife could smell me like 10 feet away. And she was like, oh, did you spray that type of perfume? Because I can smell it from over there, you know? And so this one right here, even if it does have these draw-in lingering properties for the wearer, it might seem like that. No, the intro is quite powerful. The scent trail is quite powerful. So that's something I have to say after multiple tries of this, that this is definitely one of those powerful perfumes. And when you walk in, definitely your presence will be felt. They can smell you as you're rolling in. It's really one of those fragrances that I would say a shy type of guy should never wear, because you will be noticed the moment you make the entrance. Kind of like a grand entrance with this type of perfume. So again, you've got draw-in qualities that will make you feel like, oh, this is just lingering around me with a scent trail, with that Omani incense. But then, like I said, it's very powerful. It can be smelled from 10 feet away. So again, this is a dark, fruity, kind of like plum-like I said, probably even kind of boozy, if you know boozy scents. I guess it's the leathery labdanum that causes this feeling, kind of like a boozy, plum, dark fragrance with the signature Omani incense with a tinge of rose right there. Again, one of the most complex, masculine, opulent fragrances. Feel like a chic type of fragrances right from the get-go. This is really lovely, guys. And when it comes to the coverage of this beautiful intro, the coverage of this intro is up to 2 hours. Okay, so it's up to 2 hours of this lovely, complex intro, kind of like a dark plum fragrance, like I said, with that incense, real powerful. But then what I really like about this fragrance as well is how it transitions into the mid. Now, the mid of this fragrance really kicks in the 2 hour mark. And to me, one of my favorite notes is right here in the mid, guys. And that's your bay leaf or pimento, this fiery note that starts up here. That's also, I believe, in the original Jubilation, guys. And the bay leaf or pimento, for me, is one of those really nice notes. And it's accompanied by the rose that continues into the mid, as well as the spices, guys. Okay, so I love this mid. Again, fiery pimento with spices, with some rose. The incense still kind of continues on towards the mid, but I would say that because of the pimento and spices, the cinnamon and all of that, I would say that it's a second stage. It's a second stage compared to the first like dark, boozy, leathery, plum-like intro. And then the mid is another thing. And so that's another thing I really like. The mid with the spices kicking in, the rose kicking in, some incense still continuing, but definitely pimento is one of my favorite notes in fragrances. It's right here at the heart of Jubilation 40. Now, here's the interesting thing that I figured out upon multiple tries and testing of this fragrance. It's the main reason why this review was delayed about a week and a half, guys. I wanted to make sure that I tested this multiple times to really try this part. But there is a huge performance drop in Jubilation 40 past the 4 to 5 hour mark. And initially I thought, oh, maybe it's just like my first try, or maybe I wasn't paying attention. But after multiple tries, really, this is something that happens here. And I think this is why you have a bunch of people complaining still about the performance of this perfume, Jubilation 40, because there's a huge drop. And yes, I mean, the intro is very, very strong. You've got a strong scent trail, lingering properties, Omani incense, powerful projection, but there really is a huge drop past the 4 hour mark, guys. And upon testing, I found out that really it was more of a shape-shifting affair. It's more of like this fragrance changed gears on me rather than just, oh, going straight into a skin scent. Because as I was testing it past the 4 hour mark, yes, there was a big drop, but it was still a consistent lingering scent. And I would say this whole shape-shifting into another stage of Jubilation 40 is actually intended, because I got a whole new, completely different vibe from the dry down, guys, of this fragrance. And the dry down, it has myrrh, it has resins like opoponax, it has amber, it has musk, it has ambergris, it has oud. But this dry down of Jubilation 40 really felt more Middle Eastern than any stages of this fragrance. As you guys know, I mean, Jubilation is a mainstream lovable scent. The opulent side of it, I wouldn't say is Middle Eastern, and the middle is not really Middle Eastern either. But really, this final stage of Jubilation, man, the dry down that starts in 5 hours or 6 hours, guys, is really the most Middle Eastern part of Jubilation 40. And the reason is the dry down of this fragrance is a combination of some smoky gaiac wood, some really low-key leathery oud, as well as myrrh and resins, guys. And how it feels like when you're wearing this past the 4 to 5 hour mark is that it feels like a bakur. You know, it's one of those consistent, low-key, smoky Middle Eastern fragrances that you feel at the latter end of Jubilation 40. So that kind of explains, it's kind of like a change of character, I would say, with Jubilation 40, that some people might translate to like more of a performance drop, which it is, but it's really more like a change in character. And if the intro of Jubilation 40 was like a presence, like grand entrance type opening, this dry down is more of like a subtle, confident type of, you know, Middle Eastern style ending right here. It's something that I can see like some Emiratis or some like low-key business owners, low-key CEOs are kind of wearing. That's not super loud, but it's definitely very confident and very regal. I would say that the dry down part of this fragrance is like that, guys. And again, it's smoky, it's lingering. It definitely has some leathery oud facets. It has some sweetness still from some amber. It does have the resins, your opoponax and your myrrh. And then, you know, definitely some patchouli as well, guys. So I would say that this ending is quite nice. And this ending is also pretty long lasting. When I was testing this fragrance, this complex, smoky Middle Eastern ending, to me lasted more than 15 hours. And that's with the biting cold. And actually you can test this while you're outside and you can really smell that it's like lingering and long lasting. So this stage might not be as strong as the intro, but it's definitely long lasting. So they definitely weren't lying about the longevity of this fragrance being very long lasting because of the higher concentration is just not gonna be as loud as the intro. And again, you will experience a big performance drop or gap somewhere in the 4 to 5 hour mark of this fragrance. Again, don't look at it as, oh, it got weak into a skin scent. It's just a totally different stage of Jubilation 40, which I still quite enjoy. Ultimately, guys, in my opinion, Jubilation 40 brings back the original concept and the purpose of Jubilation Man, which is to bring out an opulent, luxurious, chic-like, prince-like type of fragrance, king-like type of fragrance. That's definitely a strong presence perfume. And you know, when it comes to luxury, guys, this is $500. I think that the $500 price of this is going to be too much for those that purchase Jubilation Man from discounters, you know, for a lot cheaper. But definitely, I would say in the luxury perfumes line, 500 is the average. So I think that it's worth this because that's precisely what the message is. Sometimes you buy these $500, $600 perfumes and they don't spell luxury. You know, they spell something else. This one is a perfect message to market match where it definitely will give you the luxury that you're paying for with the $500, guys. So in my opinion, when it comes to luxury perfumes and the pricing, this is quite okay, guys. But definitely try it and test it first. I think the performance, like I said, you'll get a strong, powerful intro, and you'll get a long-lasting Middle Eastern smoky type ending with all the resins and the myrrh. I think that it's worth it even for the performance. It might not be strong, like loud from start to finish, but definitely you are going to get some longevity out of this fragrance. Also, when I tested this outdoors, this was great for the cold weather. And I believe it is still cold. It's still cold out there, guys. And so with that being said, this is great for the fall winter season and AC environments, in my opinion. Of course, when it comes to the Middle East, none of that matters. But, you know, I think that right now for the biting cold, I've tested it. Even the ladder dry down performs great on cold weather. Now, usage-wise, in my opinion, this is an upscale grabber. This could be a grabber if you have a 24/7 upscale lifestyle. I don't. So I think, to me, it is an upscale grabber. Definitely for special occasions. I think that, for example, if you're a military man and you got promoted from major to colonel or colonel to general, this is something I would wear to some very important event like that. Or some people ask me about wedding perfumes. I think that if you want to come across as a very masculine, dominant, and luxurious, rich person in a wedding, definitely this is something to wear. But for me, I don't have a lot of those types of occasions that I go to. But for me, I mean, definitely going to Beverly Hills, definitely roaming around Hollywood and going to Michelin star restaurants and, you know, traveling to Paris. That's something that I would say I would definitely bring this along full bottle, guys, because this one brings in the opulence. It does bring out the luxury. So 100%, that's what it does. So to me, again, this is an upscale grabber. Now, here's a question that's always asked. Is it redundant to own both Jubilation Man, the OG, as well as Jubilation 40? In my opinion, it really depends where you're at. If you're a big fan of the OG, you still have some in your bottle, I don't think it would hurt to add a few more $100 and buy 40. And if you don't have Jubilation Man, some people are saying that this one right here, 40, has a little bit of closeness to the vintage bottles. And so maybe you can just skip getting Jubilation Man and possibly get those newer batches that some people are saying they don't perform well and go straight to 40. And like I said, it is definitely full bottle worthy. So maybe some of y'all can just skip into 40. I mean, it really depends where you're at in your collecting. If you're a big fan of Jubilation, I'd say get the vintage and the 40 and skip those newer bottles that don't really perform well. But again, I haven't tried that yet. I will make that comparison soon. And that is it. That is my review of Amouage Jubilation 40. Definitely a lovely, opulent, royal fragrance. I wanted to really test it multiple times because I think that this fragrance will get multiple mixed reviews in the market, in the community, guys. So I wanted to get my version straight for you guys with multiple testing, even if it, meant that I wouldn't be the first person to review it. It's okay. Hopefully you guys can support this video by sharing it to your friends and liking it and sharing the channel in general, guys. So again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Join the 20K giveaway. I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless. Take care. Peace.